How many calories do we really burn when we're out riding our bikes? Well, we know it's a great way of losing weight, so the short answer is probably quite a lot. But how do we really calculate it? How do we know how many carbs we need to consume when we're out riding so that we don't run out of energy and hit the wall?
Yeah, put simply, a calorie is a unit of energy. So the more calories in a piece of food, the more energy that it contains. And put simply again, we can work out exactly how much energy it takes to ride at a certain pace.
Pedaling a bike requires power, which is measured in watts. You can roughly assume that producing 1 watt of power for an hour will burn 4 calories. It doesn't sound like much, but cycling at 10 miles per hour on a flat road requires about 40 watts. 15 miles per hour about 100, and 20 miles per hour on a flat road about 210 watts. So riding 10 miles in an hour requires 140 calories, 15 miles per hour 350 calories, and 20 miles per hour about 700. Knowing exactly how many calories you're burning is going to require some fairly specific technology, which normally means a power meter, such as the one that Matt and I are using on today's ride. However, they are quite a significant investment, so an alternative is to use a flat road to give you a rough idea of calories burned. However, as soon as you start going uphill or downhill, or you have a big tailwind or headwind, that's going to vary quite considerably. Instead then, you could get a rough idea from your heart rate.
Yeah, that's a really long established method that takes into account your age, your weight, and how long you've actually been exercising for. Throw into the mix your average heart rate, and you can get a really good idea of how many calories you've burned.
So, to give you an example, I am 36 years old, I weigh 70 kilograms, and to average around 20 miles per hour or 210 watts on a pan flat road normally requires an average heart rate for me personally of 140 beats per minute. Crunch all those numbers in the calorie calculator and it comes out at 770 calories per hour.
So it's pretty clear then, there's some inaccuracy here. In fact, there's quite a lot of inaccuracy across the board with all of these methods, but in particular, heart rate. Take for example, comparing one person to the next. Somebody could have a really low heart rate compared to somebody else, but that may have no bearing on their fitness whatsoever. And then you've got to look at your own heart rate. It could be changeable depending on your level of fatigue or even the temperature of your body.
But what about power? Surely that is actually measuring an output. Well, yes, it is, but in order to calculate calories from power, there is an assumption about the efficiency of your body, meaning how many calories are wasted when producing that power. And the reason it's only an assumption is because people's efficiency varies by up to 30%.
To put that into context, that's the difference between needing 850 calories to cycle at 200 watts for an hour or just 600 calories. That's the difference in needing 3 extra of these energy gels every hour. Now there's one last element to complicate things. You don't stop burning calories when you climb off your bike. You burn calories just to stay alive, of course, but certain types of exercise raise your metabolic rate, effectively making your body burn more calories, even when you're resting in bed. That's because high intensity exercise causes muscle damage and that takes energy to repair. So, whilst you might burn 700 calories by riding 20 miles in 1 hour, you might find that this effort makes you burn more calories for the subsequent 24 hours as well. And if this is really what you want, high intensity intervals are what you need. If you ever want to measure exactly the amount of calories that you burn while cycling, you're going to need to know the quantity and the types of gases that you breathe out and the relationship between oxygen and carbon dioxide. And as you can imagine, that would take some pretty specialist type of equipment, most likely taking place in a lab. And let's face it, do you really need to be that accurate?
Probably not, but knowing roughly how many calories you're expending whilst you're out riding is going to allow you to know how much you need to eat or how much energy drink you need to consume in order not to run out of energy whilst you're out on your ride. And actually, any ride over 90 minutes is going to require some kind of carbohydrate consumption, even if your main aim is to lose weight. And if that's the case, it's restricting calories off the bike that's going to be more beneficial.
Should we go and have some cake?
Yeah.
Anyway, if you haven't already subscribed to Global Cycling Network, please do so, then you won't miss any more of our videos. And you can do that by clicking on the globe.
Yeah, and if you would like to do some high intensity intervals on your indoor trainer, we've got the perfect video for you just down there. Or on the other hand, if you'd like to know where's the best place to consume food whilst you're out on the bike, you can find that just down there.
And tip is probably a calf.
No, actually on the bike.
Oh, right.
First step is for you to take your shoes off.
I better do that then.
Yes. We're gonna need your age and your height to set this properly.
32.
32, 31.
What does it
32.
default to 30? I'm like, damn, am I over the minimum?
It's too bad when we're old. We're gonna set a feature here, so you're gonna be a male and an athlete. Okay?
Oh,
And then-
that makes sense.
Are you a male athlete?
I'm a male athlete for
Perfect.
sure.
We're
Yeah,
good.
I'm 5'10". Ah, good. I'm over that one. That's the most important one.
And once it goes to 0, you're ready to jump on there.
Okay, let's
Do
do
you want
it.
it in pounds or kilos?
We'll do it in pounds because I mainly have a North American audience.
Okay, perfect.
And everyone gets confused when I speak in metric.
Toes up on the front, heels on the back, and then it
Yeah.
will start to spit out some information for us.
Whoa.
All right, let's see what we're getting.
Just put on weight.
So if we roll through our numbers here,
Yeah.
so your body weight is 162.2. Your body fat percentage is 19.1.
19.1. What's
Yeah.
that like as a recommended thing for my body weight? No, for my height.
So it's
Is it?
healthy.
Okay.
You know, usually we want to have lower teens for very athletic individuals. Once you get below 10, you're going to start to see like the abs showing. It doesn't mean you're
Factory.
unhealthy.
Yeah,
It just
yeah.
means that's where you're at. So if we look at hydration level, you're at 54.7. So usually for men, we want to get as close to 60% as possible.
Okay. I have
'Cause-
also just done a workout maybe.
Oh, that's why. You might be a little bit low. So your muscle is 124.8 pounds. So that's your muscle mass. Minimum calorie requirement for a day is 1740.
Is that
So
if I
that's
sat still?
That's if you just stayed in bed all day. Basically didn't do anything. Okay? And then this is your visceral fat. Now this is more of like a health concern. Mainly in the stomach.
Yeah.
Around your organs.
Okay.
So when you see like the classic beer gut.
Yeah.
That's where we're going to have concern about health issues, right?
Okay.
So right now it says you have a 5. 5 isn't a major concern, but the lower we have that number, the better off we are.
So what's like the max and what's the minimum?
The maximum could be an astronomical number, but let's not go there.
Okay.
And again, it doesn't mean you're unhealthy.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just something to be observant of.
Well, I've just done 7 days of mountain biking and I'm back with my boy Keith
Howdy.
to see if I've lost any weight after all that mountain biking or how my body has changed. So I put on 2 pounds. My body fat percentage has gone up.
Okay, what was it before?
It was like 19.
Do you remember what your hydration level was?
It was below 60. It's probably the same.
Whenever we have a discrepancy here
Yeah.
with the hydration level, that will affect the body fat quite a lot. So if you're a little low on hydration, your body fat will go up quite a bit relative to this machine.
Oh, okay.
Because more water in the body means more muscle in the body. There's your muscle mass, and then this is your belly fat.
That's gone up.
Yeah.
Because I remember that was 5. How have I put on weight?
Well-
like that kind of weight.
You pigged out beforehand, right?
I did a little bit,
Yeah.
but then again, I was eating like.
Well, what happens whenever you do something at like a very high stress level? So mountain biking for 7 days straight, over 200 kilometers, is a lot of stress on the body.
Yeah.
That heightens your cortisol levels, which holds on body fat.
Oh.
So it does
okay.
the opposite of what a lot of people think might happen. In another week,
Do it again in
when
another
you've
week.
recovered and
Yeah.
adapted, got back to normal nutrition and normal sleeping, and see if the numbers look more positive once you've fully recovered.
Oh, okay.
Because right now you're still in a stressed out state. So right now you're pretty stressed. Let's see what happens when you're fully recovered.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All right.
and that'll be interesting to see what the numbers say.